What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. Errol Spence JR went ghost after his loss with Terence Crawford on July 29th. He didn't make any excuses. He took his loss like a champ. He said Terence Crawford was the better man. And he hugged Terence Crawford. And he left. The boxing fan thinking that was going to be the last of Errol Spence Jr. We all jumped on the Errol Spence Jr. bandwagon, including myself. I was one of those people who jumped on the Errol Spence Jr.'s bandwagon because Errol Spence Jr. made us drop our guard. He made me drop my guard. A guy that was skeptical of Errol Spence Jr. for the last 5 years, but somehow Errol Spence Jr. made me drop my guard after the Terence Crawford fight. I was so confused. I was so shocked because I didn't expect that. I expected what I really expected was a lot of excuses to come in on why he lost. And he just didn't give me that. He gave me something else, but he literally wooed us. I remember watching Errol Spence versus Pacquiao when the fight was supposed to happen, the press conference a little bit. And Errol Spence said something about Manny Pacquiao. He said Manny Pacquiao is the type of guy that likes to woo you, meaning like he likes to act like he's a nice guy. But in the ring is a different story. He tries to take your head off. I mean, that's what most fighters should do. Unless you do talk trash, then talk trash, because fans are entertained by the trash talk. So anyway, Errol Spence may have took a page out of Manny Pacquiao's book, because I've never heard Errol Spence not say nothing after a fight, especially the most highly anticipated fight of the decade, where Errol Spence lost a one-sided fight, where everybody was assuming, saying, man, that wasn't Errol Spence. Errol Spence had brain damage. That wasn't Spence. That was somebody else. That was a clone. That was an AI-generated person. That wasn't a real person. It just looked real. Like all the excuses was coming in. And Errol Spence was the only guy who refused to give us excuses. He just said, the only thing I remember him saying for real, he said maybe it was the weight. Maybe Terence Crawford give me maybe Terence Crawford give me a chance or a fight at 154. And that's what I heard. And then Errol Spence literally disappeared for 6 months, guys. 6 freaking months. We didn't hear from Errol Spence. He didn't post on social media. He just vanished. If we didn't have his girlfriend's Instagram, we would have thought Errol Spence hung it up, meaning like he probably committed suicide. That's what we would have thought, because he just disappeared from social media. We didn't hear nothing from Errol Spence. No post after the fight, nothing at all. He didn't do the traditional thing everybody is accustomed to. He just vanished. The whole time he vanished, he was on vacation. So we was happy to see that Errol Spence was in good spirit. He was on vacation, chilling with his girlfriend. His wife, my bad. His kids, going to Jamaica, going everywhere. Enjoying life. He was spotted a couple of times in Dallas. I remember one interview he was spotted with the Hebrew Israelites, and they told him he's a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. And we've seen a lot of stuff from Errol Spence Jr., but not officially from his page. Fast forward, the holidays came. Errol Spence still didn't come on social media. After the holidays, after Christmas, after Thanksgiving, Errol Spence finally decided to show his face. And he decided to post on his Instagram page and Twitter. And guess when he decided to do that? Almost a year later, 6 months later after his loss, after disappearing for all those times, Errol Spence, man, look at Errol Spence's eyes, guys. His eyes has always been like that. Do you guys know this is the Mikey Garcia fight? Look at his eyes. A lot of people kept saying, man, Errol Spence's eyes look glossy. He looked like the sign of brain damage. Now, this is the Mikey Garcia fight. Do he look brain damaged there? Because those are his eyes right there. There was a doctor saying Errol Spence looked brain damaged. This is the Mikey Garcia fight picture right here. Look at how glossy his eyes look there. So, that doctor who said Errol Spence looked like he had brain damage should lose his license for lying. That's why I put this picture up. This is, look, you remember that green hoodie? This is the Mikey Garcia fight. You know how many years ago that was? That was way before the Terence Crawford fight. But anyway, Errol Spence win goes. He finally came back to social media. He finally started posting. And he just finally showed his face. And for the first couple of days, Errol Spence was doing so well. Not really saying much. He'll post subliminal messages here and there. He'll post, there's no snakes in Jamaica, insinuating there was probably snakes in his camp. Or he'll post little subliminal messages here and there. But nobody really took it too personal. But we just thought nothing of Errol Spence. We never thought Errol Spence would come out and say what he eventually started saying. But I think the built-up anger was just too much for Errol. That he just finally just couldn't hold it in anymore. And he just let everybody down that was becoming a new fan of Errol. Because, like I said, I was one of those guys becoming a new fan of Errol. I was so happy that Errol didn't make any excuses. I was so happy that Errol just kept in all of the BS he wanted to keep in. He just took the loss like a champ. I never thought Errol Spence was going to make excuses. You know. And then Errol just couldn't hold back anymore. And I'm not going to read all of the excuses he made because you guys are familiar with it already. I already did videos on it. But this tweet right here is ridiculous. This tweet right here is ridiculous. I cannot believe that Errol Spence said this tweet right here. I really can't believe he said it. This one is a little troubling. From every single tweet Errol Spence posted, this one is very alarming. And we have to be aware of what Errol Spence said and take into account what he said. Let's go ahead and read it, guys. This post has been deleted since Errol Spence posted this. He was going off on Twitter. He made sure he deleted this one. He says, no bullshit. The first 3 months, before I even read it, you guys can clearly see this jab Terence Crawford is throwing. It's directly on the eye of Errol Spence Jr. Directly on the eye. Directly on his eye, as you can see. Crawford definitely did target that eye. So whatever surgery Errol Spence is getting, if he so-called had cataracts and he could have took care of it before the fight, insinuating that the ref didn't know that he had cataracts. Not the ref, my bad. The doctor before the fight. Before you fight, the doctor thoroughly checks you. So if the doctor couldn't tell that Errol Spence had cataracts, clearly because the cataracts wasn't noticeable, or was it as bad as Errol Spence is insinuating, Crawford made whatever he's saying he needed surgery on worse. So it was Crawford who truly snatched his eye that made him have surgery. It wasn't past due. It was what Crawford did to his eye. That's why he had to have surgery. As you clearly seen in that video I posted. I said video. In that picture where Crawford was targeted in the eye. Now let me get back to what Errol Spence wrote and deleted. With that being said, let's get back to it. Errol Spence tweeted, no bullshit. The first 3 months, I was waiting for someone in public to say something out of pocket in front of me. I was vulnerable for a lawsuit or something else around that time. Unfreaking believable. Let's read it one more time because I couldn't read what he tried to delete it, but he couldn't. You know, the internet is undefeated. Anything you put out there, we're gonna screenshot it. Whether you delete it or not, we're gonna screenshot it. Let's read it again. Errol Spence admit he was ready to crash out because of the beating he took against Terence Crawford. We're going to go ahead and read it one more time. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this crazy, ridiculous tweet from professional boxer Errol Spence Jr., elite level boxer, who hands should be considered licensed. Errol Spence tweets, no bullshit. The first 3 months, I was waiting for someone in public to say something out of pocket. I was vulnerable for a lawsuit or something else around that time. Man, I gotta scratch my head on that because that is wild. That is probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen a boxer, right? Not the fact that he said he got his ass beat and all of this stuff he's saying, giving Crawford's credit and all. He said a lot of stuff on Twitter. And I'm trying to dissect everything he said, but this one right here takes the crown. The fact that he even talked about not living a boxer lifestyle, drinking and stuff like that. We all knew that. But this one right here takes the crown because Errol Spence Jr. was willing to crash out over the ass whooping that he put himself in this position. He got beat for 5 years of disrespect. He has nobody else to blame but himself. I know his fans put a battery in his back. We all know that. But He fed into that. For 5 years, he let his fans put this battery in his back, and he did not check them. He actually fed into everything his fans were saying. Guys like me try to warn Errol Spence. I said all of this crap you guys are saying, 60-40, 80-20, 90-10, whatever we give them, it's going to come back to haunt you guys. It's going to come back to destroy Errol Spence. Errol Spence is going to crash out. He's going to be a crash dummy. Because the beating that Terence Crawford is going to give this man when he finally catches this man. Okay, guys. Let's do this. Imagine stealing from somebody or snitching on somebody, right? Imagine stealing from, I'm just giving you guys examples. Imagine stealing from somebody and they know you did it and they've been looking for you for the longest. Imagine snitching on somebody and they've been locked up for a very long time, and every day in jail, they're just thinking about getting back. They're just thinking about getting you. Every single day they're thinking about, man, I can't wait to get my hands on this guy, bro. Every day they're using what you did to them as motivation to get you so bad. And you're just on the street just laughing at them. People are coming to jail telling them, man, the dude that snitched on you is laughing. He's proud he did it. Or, like I said, the other scenario, you steal from somebody and you're just bragging about it and the guy knows about it. He can't wait to get his hands on you. And people are telling him, yo, I ran into that guy that stole from you, stole your car or whatever. And he's laughing about it. He's trolling you. And you just get to blessing and he takes the bait and you finally catches him lacking. You finally come home from jail, or you finally catches him, the guy that stole from you or the guy that snitched on you. This is what happened right here, guys. This is what happened. If you guys are smart, you'll understand this is similar to what I'm saying with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. For 5 years, Terence Crawford had to listen to Errol Spence downplay his resume, just like the fans downplay his accomplishments. Imagine giving your all to boxing, being dedicated to the sport of boxing for all of these years since when did Crawford started boxing? 2009 maybe? Around there. And a guy just comes into boxing a couple years later. All of his fights are on pay-per-view. He's downplaying your accomplishments. The fans are downplaying your accomplishments. And you just have to sit there and listen and watch this guy steal everything that belongs to you. And you just have to watch this guy supposedly get paid all of this money, get all the notoriety, get all of the credit. And you lived a boxer lifestyle. And he does it. And everybody knows he does it. And you does. You live a boxer lifestyle. You do everything you're supposed to do. Yet this one guy, Errol Spence Jr., is getting the credit that you deserve. Imagine how you're going to feel. Imagine the anger you got built up inside of you. And then you finally get this guy in a ring. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to beat the shit out of this guy. And he's going to need eye surgery. But when he finally gets his eye surgery, he's trying to blame it on cataracts. Ain't nobody buying the BS. And then on top of that, he's saying for the first 3 months after the beating he took, he was willing to crash out. It wasn't nobody's fault that you took that beating. It was your own fault. You was blind to the fact that Terence Crawford was a great fighter. You refused to train for that guy. Your trainer even said he didn't train for Earl. He didn't prepare for Terence Crawford because he didn't know how to. Yeah, you guys took that man lightly. And you suffer a devastating loss because of that. Just accept the loss, move on. Live to fight another day. Don't crash out on the fans. Don't get mad because you got the ass beat. It is what it is. It's boxing. Stuff happens. You win some, you lose some. When you were winning, you never said you wanted to punch on the public. When you take your first loss, now you're saying you want to punch on the public and you was vulnerable. You know, you got nobody to blame but yourself. It is what it is. It's your boy, No Credit. And I'm out. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Errol Spence going off, saying he wants to punch on the public because he lost to Terence Crawford. It's ridiculous, man.